Hi. So this isn't going to look completely realistic, but I can show you what my learning management system, Schoology, looks like from the student's perspective. So students can access their Schoology learning management system two ways. The first way is that some of them will have this LPS bookmarks folder. If they click on Schoology, they can access it right from the folder. Some of them will also have it favorited and bookmarked up the top of their bar right here. And some of them will also have it on the front of their Google Chrome homepage. So I'm going to just click my bookmarked tab here. And as I enter, this is the teacher facing domain. So I'm going to change it up and show you what it looks like from their point of view. So similar to the teachers, they have a homepage like this. They have a courses page. They have a groups page. They have a resources page. And then they also have a grade tab. So if I enter one of my classes, I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'll change it to student view. I'm going to view course as just one of my students. So from their perspective, this is what logging into their English class looks like. The first thing that they see is their materials homepage. Some students have the Schoology settings in English and Spanish. So mine is in English, but some of them have the language in Spanish, which they change depending on what they want to see down at the bottom left. First thing that they see is materials. Then they will see updates, which is a place where any notifications are from me, messages, updates about school, about the class. Could be a snow day, could be, a test day, could be half day, could be sending in homework, et cetera, et cetera. Their grades tab shows them across their classes, what grades they have. For me, they'll see all of their grades depending on what is graded or what is not graded. At the very bottom, they will see the final course grade number. They will be able to click on members, which they'll see the people in their class. The BrainPop, conferences, Nearpod, Newsy LA, OneNote, IXL, and McGraw-Hill, we don't use a lot of. What we do use a lot of is Actively Learn, but that's probably for a separate video. So if we go to materials, which is the first thing that they usually are in always, very first folder, that's week whatever, and it's whatever color, that's the first folder of work. That is the primary place that they would go to look for their work. We'll always have an agenda, and the activities will be numbered directly after the agenda. The agenda is always number one. Basically, their work is in a folder at the very top of their materials page. They'll obviously always have week prior and maybe even the week prior to that, so up to 2 weeks of work, depending on what the unit is, if it makes more sense to have the work all in one place, or if it makes more sense, like at the orange folder of past work, to have every single week's past work compiled together. I teach multilingual learners, so all of the titles I put the translations of the names except for the week of work that we are in. So I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like from a week that has quite a bit of stuff in it. An agenda is always number one. Then this week we did a review of a prior lesson that we did, which was on theme, and it continued into direct instruction, vocabulary practice, a vocab assessment, reading of a chapter of the novel we're working on, and then the main performance assessment tasks, which were all about writing a summary. Usually the last biggest assignment in a folder that is weighted the most is the performance assessment task, which is the last thing that they'll do. All of the work prior is work that leads them up to that performance assessment task. I also always leave a folder for important information. That is my night back, expectations for our school, and our schedule. I have a folder that is about this course, so just helpful information for them to refer back to. My syllabus, I have a PowerPoint about me, and I have a seating chart that's really general. If they're in lined rows in my room, right now they're not in rows, so this is pretty irrelevant. The green folder I update periodically, which is different links, activities, and games for learning English. And the orange folder is always past work. This section at the very bottom that says Duolingo is an assignment that is put in as an assessment category, and they are able to work on Duolingo on their apps or on their computers, and they get 2 points extra for every Duolingo lesson that they do. Depending on whether or not they need to respond to messages, they'll see messages at the top with the little envelope icon, all the notifications when somebody has graded something, when somebody comments on something, when something is updated in the class folder. Little notifications will show up as the bell. Their profile is going to be here, so this is going to be their picture. They always have a search magnifying glass, the little calendar, which they can click on, that just makes the school days bigger by month. For me, obviously, this is my facing view, so I have all of these different teacher admin things. And then this section right here is applications, and they don't need to necessarily go here, but you can see apps that are free that they may want to add into their Schoology. Not necessary, but it's there. If anybody ever wants to return to their homepage at any point in time when they're on a different part of Schoology, all they have to do is click on the Lynn Public Schools icon, and it brings them right back to the main page. The main page, again, has updates, assignments, events. Filtering requires most recent updates or polls. You can also click on Course Dashboard and see all their courses listed. And then on the right-hand side, they'll see any work that they need to do that they haven't done that's past a due date, then any reminders that they necessarily might need to look at. And the upcoming is all upcoming tests, quizzes, holidays, important dates, etc. So that is what Schoology, the learning management system, looks like on their end.